Hi friends. So did you know that businesses lose billions of dollars annually because of lost productivity from mental health costs? One group, an organization that helps employers and employees come in agreement for a common goal, says according to the World Health Organization, about $1 trillion is lost in productivity due to depression and anxiety specifically. But surprisingly, many employers do not offer mental health days and resources. With that being said, today I'm going to talk about these mental health days and what they are. I'm going to talk about the benefits, and I'm going to talk about a plan on how to implement this policy of mental health days so that your workers are able to, and you too as well, just you workers, so that you are able to have a better work-life balance and such. And this is especially good for those who have a high demanding job, healthcare workers, engineers, doctors, etc. Even those who don't have as high demanding jobs, you can still benefit from this. So without further ado, let's get started. What exactly are mental health days? Well, Connect Team, who is like one group, they are also specialized in helping employers and employees find a common goal, says that it's a day to take off work to prioritize mental health. Effa et al. In 2024, who conducted a study on the decision-making processes with people who have depression and anxiety, state that mental health days can offer employees time to distress and recharge. The same source also goes into saying that depression takes a lot of our energy and that anxiety leaves us to be burnt out. So, with that being said, what are these benefits of these mental health days? Well, Christian Rigg, a psychology major who has the knack for understanding complex mental health issues, says that employees are more productive with a clear head. It helps with, when having a clear mind, it helps with being engaged in work activities and tasks and such. Another benefit is reduced burnout. Okonkwo et al. In 2024, they advocate for healthcare workers. Gives us lots of information on this. They give one thing, VUCA, an acronym that stands for volatility, uncertainty, complexity, ambiguity. These healthcare workers experience a very high level of all of these things. And I quote from Okonkwo and the other scholars, and I quote, "The employment of organizational and self-care strategies, organizational interventions, and strategies to promote well-being. This includes tackling work stressors, adoption of self-care, etc." So, with this information, we can reduce burnout by implementing strategies with resources given by these employers. It would be pretty dangerous if healthcare workers and engineers too, if they weren't doing the best at their job, because if healthcare workers weren't doing their best, then we would be the ones that would get the worst of it, because then we wouldn't get the help that we needed, the best help. Same thing with engineers, especially those who work in with like more heavier stuff. It would be pretty dangerous if they weren't fully doing well in their job, because they could really hurt themselves. So, even with these benefits, I can see how some of y'all might disagree, and that's because of insufficient days. Some workers have more long-term issues, and this is said by Revet on Connect Team. Revet says that workers may take days as a reactionary measure rather than using those days correctly, and these days won't cure these long-term illnesses. Now, that is pretty understandable, but with the right plan, these days aren't meant to solve these issues. They're meant to give us time to find the resources to solve these issues. So what I'm trying to say is that these days give us time to seek professional help into getting to the root cause, because life can throw so much at us. And when we are working full-time jobs, like 40 hours a week, we don't have that time to seek help when necessary. And Revet also goes into that as well. And as well, one group, and I quote, says that it can be helpful for businesses to offer these resources around mental health workdays, because then it would also lower costs, which is what they also said. So we can work around this issue of insufficient days by implementing a policy. And that's what I'm going to talk about right now. On Connect Team, they give us 3 steps on how to implement this policy. Step 1 is asking questions. Who are going to get these benefits? Who is going to be paid? Who is going to be eligible? And how are they going to go about certain things and when? These questions are just a few of many that can help figure out where to allocate resources. And speaking of resources, that brings me to step 2, giving out those resources. Those resources include mental health facility information, like local mental health options, and etc. And the third step is taking action, so being open to feedback as well. One amazing way for getting feedback is by using anonymous surveys. You respect the privacy of the worker as well as getting that feedback to better the policy. So, with that all being said, all these things kind of brings down to one point, is that we all need a break. In conclusion, we learned that, that what these mental health days are, what the benefits are, so increased productivity and reduced burnout. And I also talked about that's 3-step plan that you can implement. So, employers and employees too, I challenge you to construct a policy that will benefit you and your employees, and you can just watch productivity and morale skyrocket. Because can we really afford the cost of ignoring the mental health issues any longer? Thank you.